The New York Giants lose to the Detroit Lions 31-18. I know a lot of people will say that's a trap game. There's no such thing as a trap game. The Detroit Lions came into your house and they beat your ass for 60 minutes. The Giants weren't ready to play. They went 3 and out on the first possession. They punted it, gave up their field position, and allowed the Lions to go down there and score a touchdown on you. There were no moments of this game that I thought the Giants were ready to play. At some point, you have to look in the mirror, because I think it's cute to say that the Giants are a second-half team. They always come back in the second half. But what does that really mean? It means that you're never ready to play in the first half. You never have a game plan that's ready to go in the first half. It's awesome being a second-half team. But, 1, you can't do that against good teams. And 2, you obviously can't do it against the Detroit Lions because they just beat your ass for 60 minutes straight. I think Brian Daboll is the guy, no doubt about it. But at some point, and this goes on Mike Kafka too, the Giants are the worst scoring offense in the NFL in the first half. Once again, they scored 6 points in the first half. When do we have to be honest with ourselves and say a second-half team means that you're not a first-half team? And if you're not a first-half team, that means that you're undercoached. You're not ready to go when the whistle blows. You don't have a good script on the first drive of the game, and you're not coached well in the first half. We're only a second-half team because we're a bad first-half team. That's the facts of the matter. So, no, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And there's no such thing as a trap game. Because a trap game means that you weren't ready to play and you overlooked your opponent. Which means your coaches didn't have you ready to play. So get the trap game shit out of here. It's not a real thing. I'll ask you this, though. What was your one-word reaction to today's game? What is your one-word reaction to today's game? If you want to say refs and you're blaming this on the refs, I frankly would laugh at you. This wasn't the refs. You got your ass beat by the Lions. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. They could stop the run. They got pressure on you, and you turned the ball over 3 times on offense. What's your one-word reaction to the game? I want to hear from you in the comments section. The Giants didn't just get beat on the field today. They got beat up, and it's going to affect them long term. Adoree Jackson suffered a knee injury, and the reports are he's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks. That's going to be a problem going into Dallas to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I said it in the stream today, before the game started. If you wanted to be a playoff team, you had to win today. Now you're at 7-3. And you got 2 games against the Eagles, another game against the Cowboys, 2 games against the Commanders. You still got to play the Vikings and the Colts, who's not an easy win. Giants want to make the playoffs. They're going to have to rattle off some impressive wins. Adoree Jackson, he's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks. Wan'Dale Robinson also suffered a knee injury. From what I understand, it was a non-contact knee injury, and it is feared that he tore his ACL. Prayers up for him. I mean, look, the Giants lose him. He's been their second most productive wide receiver behind Darius Slayton. You lose him. And before I tell you guys about established titles, I want to say this. You didn't just lose today. I think you lost out on the chance to sign Odell Beckham Jr. There was a report this morning that I was coming out between the Giants and the Cowboys, and you just got your ass beat by the Lions at home, in your own house, in Giants football weather. You think Odell's coming to sign and play for a team that can't beat the Lions? And now with Wan'Dale Robinson out, it's too much pressure on Odell to come back to the Giants. Pains me to say this, but I think he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. I do want to tell you, though, about our proud sponsor, Established Titles. Get hooked up with them. Today's Giants Now postgame show is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords in 80s in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with the crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, one tree planted and trees for the future to support global reforestation efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card. Plane tickets, dating profiles, etc. Makes a great last-minute gift. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Giants Real One Kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift, and Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat, grab a plot of Scottish land next to me, Lord Marsha. You can be right next to Lord Producer Jack as well. Establishedtitles.com/chat. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. And the Giants didn't just lose Adoree Jackson. They also lost Fabian Moreau with a rib injury, and it sounds like he's going to be out as well for a couple of weeks. Moreau has been great this season so far. If you're down Moreau and you're down Adoree Jackson going into Dallas, it could be a long Thanksgiving for the New York Football Giants. Doesn't just stop there. Jon Feliciano was also ruled out with a neck injury. He's been pretty good, decent so far this year. Nick Gates had to replace him at the center spot. Let's hope he's ready to go next week against the Dallas Cowboys. I doubt he will be. Anytime you get ruled out of a game with a neck injury, doesn't sound like it's going to be a quick return. Also, Tyre Phillips, another injury for the New York Giants. The right tackle and start playing in spot of Evan Neal. He was ruled out, caused Matt Peart to come in at right tackle. Matt Peart is a scrub. He's no good. Another bad pick by Dave Gettleman. Tyre Phillips, I would not expect him to be back anytime soon. Jason Pinnock was also hurt. The injury is unknown at the current moment, but he is not, or did not, return to action against the Detroit Lions. So, I don't know. Giants didn't just lose today. They got beat up. And those players that got hurt, it's going to go losing forward. You allowed the Lions to come into your house and beat your ass. That's what it is. There's really no analysis of this. Giants couldn't stop the run. They couldn't score points. They couldn't stop Goff. I don't think they got a single sack on Jared Goff. So who do you blame for the loss? I want to hear from you. Who do you blame for the loss today? I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments section. Who do you blame for the loss? The 31-18 loss against the Detroit Lions. I think Daniel Jones had his worst game of the season. 2 interceptions. Yeah, he threw for 341 yards. Had 27 completions. The Giants aren't built to win football games like that. 2 interceptions. I think the first interception set the tone for the game. You throw the interception inside your own red zone. It ends up in being a touchdown for the Lions. They take a double-digit lead, and the Lions, quite frankly, never looked back. Never looked back. Call it a trap game. I call it an ass beating. You got beat by a team that was better coached than you today. Got your ass beat. This is why you got your ass beat, though, right here. Saquon Barkley. You played against a team today in the Detroit Lions that were giving up the second most rushing yards in the NFL per game. And he gave up 22 yards. 22 yards for Saquon Barkley. 1.5 yards per carry. Shane Lemieux, he sucks. He got benched. Start as Zudu the rest of the way. Lemieux's not a good football player. He never really has been. I wouldn't play Lemieux anymore. I'd start as Zudu. There's no reason. You know who Lemieux is. He's not a good football player. You spent a third-round pick on a Zudu. Might as well play him. This is why. You are built. Your success is built off the success of this player. 1.5 yards per carry. That's why you lost the football game. And it ain't Saquon's fault. There was nowhere to run. You got beat. You got your ass beat. The Lions beat your ass in your house tonight. I blame the coaches. Sure, people want to use the term trap game all you want. Yeah, and I'll give you my final thoughts in a second, but make sure you're subscribed to the Giants Now by Chat Sports. We put out videos every single day. Whether they win or lose, we're going to put out videos every single day. We ain't quitting. We ain't getting our ass beat. There ain't no trap game for us. We're going to continue to update you guys for the latest news and rumors. You love the Giants? Subscribe right now. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. Injuries hurt. The injuries hurt. I think Wan'Dale Robinson tore his ACL. You don't really see people leave with a knee injury and ruled out right away. That's what Wan'Dale Robinson was. Supposedly he couldn't put any pressure on his leg. Worst part is you also lost Adoree Jackson for 3 to 5 weeks on a kick return, on a punt return, because you didn't have any trust in Richie James to be your punt returner who fumbled 2 times in the prior game. Trap game, whatever term you want to use, you got your ass beat. And it wasn't in Detroit. You got your ass beat at your own house. I don't think you just lost this game. You lost Wan'Dale Robinson for the year. You're going to lose Adoree Jackson for 5 weeks. And I think this is the reason why Odell Beckham is not going to re-sign. I did want to ask you this with games coming up. 2 against the Lions, 1 against the Cowboys, 2 against the Commanders, and 1 against the Colts, and 1 against the Vikings. I want to ask you to predict the Giants' record down below. I said today, if you had plans of making the playoffs, today had to be a must-win. You didn't do that. You got your ass beat. And I know I've said that time and time again, but it's the truth. The Giants got took to the woodshed, and I don't really have the words. I wish I could be more positive and optimistic, but this one hurts, man. Feels like the season is slipping through our hands. I'll ask you, though, to predict the Giants' final record down in the comment section.